Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the homestead. It wasn't supposed to frost last night, but it did. I'm hoping it's not too hard of a frost to destroy our potatoes. We had lots of little baby potato plants that have been frozen. Don't think much else will suffer. Most of what we have in the ground right now are cold hardy crops. But anyway, I wasn't expecting that. So today I'm going to do another farm to table meal, and I'm going to make a frittata for breakfast. I've got a little bit of kale left, so I'm going to gather up some of that and cook it down to put in the frittata. Noisy turkeys. And then we've also got garlic chives that I'll cut up and sprinkle on top. And we cooked a Muscovy duck yesterday, so I've got some leftover meat from that I can add to it. We're also getting fresh milk again, so I can use some of the cream from that to put into this. So frittatas are actually what I call egg bakes here at our house, and I didn't even really realize that I was making frittatas until recently. I guess frittata just sounds a little more sophisticated. So egg bake, frittata, whatever you want to call it, it's super simple. You use eggs and mix in whatever sounds good to you. Meat or vegetables, herbs. Oftentimes people put some sort of cheese in it. You just mix it all together, stick it in the oven, and about 40 minutes or so later, it's ready to go. So traditionally, frittatas are made in cast iron on a stovetop, but I like to just bake it in the oven at 350 until firm in the middle. For those of you who aren't familiar with Muscovies, they're like a large duck, although I don't know if they technically fit in the duck category or in the goose category. Some people think they're more closely related to geese, and if you've ever had goose meat, the meat is very similar. Both of them are very much like beef. So if you like beef, those are two birds that you'd probably really enjoy. We really love them here on the homestead, mostly because the mamas are so good at raising a lot of babies. We just recently had the largest hatch yet. 19 little ducklings, musklings as we call them. So we're really glad to have the Muscovies on the homestead. They are hard to contain because they fly, but so far they're not bothering the gardens too much. They're a pretty sustainable bird to have. They're really good at foraging. We do feed them the chicken feed that we get for all the birds, but we don't have to feed them much because they do a lot of their own foraging. So they're a really fantastic bird for the homestead. So that's what we're having for breakfast this morning. I'm gonna get harvesting. Most of the kale is bolted, as you can see, but there's a few that haven't. And they are a little bit frosty, but I'm gonna cook them anyway, so that shouldn't matter. Hopefully all these beautiful apple blossoms are not going to be affected by the frost. Just been so excited to have all these blossoms on our apple trees. So be happy, little ones. You can make it. We actually live kind of down in a bowl, and so the weather that we watch is for our local town, and we're often about 5 degrees off from that, either hotter or colder. So it was supposed to get down to the high 30s last night, so I didn't cover anything. I thought, well, I think we should be okay, but I think it got about 10 degrees colder here last night than the weather report said. So anyway, you just do the best you can as a gardener, and sometimes things like this happen. Got my kale, and now for some garlic chives. These handle the frost just fine. It's like nothing even happened. Okay, that is done. Now I'm gonna get inside where it's warm. My little toes are freezing. I've got sandals on. And we have just back and forth weather these days. Sometimes it's 80 and sunny and warm and hot, and then it goes back to freezing nights. Just never know. I'm melting a little butter in the baking dish before I put everything in it. For our family of 9, I use about 2 dozen eggs, and that's usually enough for everyone to get a really good portion. So we've got our eggs. I cooked down the kale, so I'm going to strain that really good to get all the moisture out of it. And I'll probably add a little bit of salt and butter to the kale before I add it to the eggs. The Muscovy meat is all chopped up. I'm going to add salt and pepper, probably a little bit of rosemary, not too much, just a hint, and maybe some garlic granules as well. And then I'll chop up the garlic chives and sprinkle those on top. For the full recipe for this particular frittata and maybe some variations, please check out the link below to my blog. I almost forgot to put the cooked kale in, so I just sprinkled that on top. So now it's all ready to go in the oven. All done. And we still have a little bit of homemade sauerkraut from last summer's cabbage. Amazingly, we still have a little bit left, so we're gonna have that on the side. Enjoy!
Good morning.
Good morning, Biddle. How'd you sleep?
Good.
Good. You ready for some frittata?
Yeah.
It's really egg bake.
Yeah.
At least that's what we call it, huh?
Before we close out this video, we have a bunch of thank yous to give. First, I want to say thank you to Zebedee and Chrisanne for the seeds, magnet bookmarkers, stickers, and beautiful card with letters inside. Thank you so much for the meat sticks. We cannot remember whose list they are on, so we're all just sharing them.
Thank you so much to the person who got me this lovely tool for working in the garden. Super appreciate it. And thank you to the person who got these wobbler sprinkler heads. There's a whole bunch of them in here, so those are going to be great for our garden. Thank you. I think these are going to last longer than our other sprinkler heads, which I'm really excited about.
Thank you to Betsy for this letter.
Yeah, beautiful letter from the Netherlands. Thank you for that.
Thank you to Shelby for the lovely letter and flower seeds.
Yeah, beautiful. We really appreciate it, Shelby. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris from Utah, for the jeans and boxers.
Last but not least, thank you to whoever got me this mango habanero beef jerky and to whoever got me these new lemon pliers.
Well guys, the frittata filled everyone up this morning. It was enjoyable. We even had a little bit left, so that's a good thing. Thank you so much for joining us on the homestead again today. We've got a really exciting 2 weeks ahead of us. We have a good friend here visiting from Pennsylvania for the next couple weeks to help us build our new greenhouse, which I'm incredibly excited about. A lot of the materials were picked up yesterday, and today is day one of beginning construction. We already poured some cement foundation and have put a few blocks in place, but that's about it, other than a lot of planning and figuring out materials and supplies. So I am planning on getting the whole greenhouse build on video, and we look forward to sharing that with you all. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. That really helps our channel. So as always, thank you so much to our patrons who make these videos possible. And until next time, we pray blessings over you and yours. And whatever you do, do it with your whole heart.
Do it with your whole heart.